from our youth, from our adolescence, from our upbringing, we all had events that occurred in our lives. We were all born into certain households, families. We all come from different races, religions, backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses, etc. And based on the support we had or didn't have, based on the love that was present or not, based on the events that happened or did not, based on the time that life let us down or did not, we created stories. Now, these stories may have been conscious or unconscious, but where I was eventually trying to get to, but wanted to present a very well-rounded explanation, is the brain is designed to create stories. Stories are actually the basis of what represents our identities. So if you can just activate a new story, you can start to embody a new identity. When you embody a new identity, certain synchronicities will occur in your life to be able to attract better. But a lot of times people don't want to touch the stuff that's been a little bit sticky, that's been a little bit hurtful, that's been a bit uncomfortable. So if I was to sit down and let's pretend like we had a client right now that was joining us, and if I wanted to just do some live hot seat coaching for a minute, I may just playfully say like, what are your beliefs about why your money situation is stuck? Like, what do you actually believe about money? Just out of curiosity and just out of fun. They may say after they sit and ponder it, I don't really believe that like I can have money. And they may have never actually thought that from the events I described earlier, from the youth that was, I brought up earlier, but their brain came up with the justification. Because whenever a painful or uncomfortable event happens in the past, our brain comes up with a story to justify how we can protect ourselves from that pain. So a lot of times it attacks our own self-perception, or a lot of times it attacks how we see the world if we're a person that doesn't really like to internalize things about us, but we want to kind of like discredit it to like, people are bad, the world is evil, like money is corruption, you know what I mean? And so a lot of times we don't even know the stories that we are internalizing because our brains, that's just their native, like their natural response is to just create stories, create stories, create stories. We do this in both good and bad directions. The bad directions are the ones that are causing the plateaus. So if you can start to identify the root cause of the stories that are actually inconsistent with the identity of what I call your 2.0 self, you can start to radically change your life very, very quickly. It's not a working issue in many instances, it's an identity issue. Too many people do not carefully and consciously craft an identity based on the person they want to become. They may hold it in their mind as a dream, as a wish, as an aspiration, but how many people also speak against the impossibility of that occurring and then wonder why it doesn't occur?